Imagine this, the greatest warrior of his time, Arjuna, standing on the battlefield, bow in hand, facing his own family. But instead of feeling heroic, he collapses. He's having a full-blown panic attack. And the solution Lord Krishna gives him is more powerful than any modern anxiety treatment you'll ever find. This isn't just an ancient story. This is about you. You know that feeling, right? Being so worried about how things will turn out that you're completely paralyzed. You can't make a decision. You can't act. You're just stuck in a loop of what if. What if I told you that the entire Bhagavad Gita, one of the most profound spiritual texts ever known, is actually a practical manual for managing anxiety? It's a guide disguised as philosophy, designed to free you from the very fears that hold you back in your daily life. It's not about religion in the way you might think. It's about psychology, about mastering your own mind. Think about Arjuna's condition. The scripture describes his symptoms in detail. His limbs tremble, his mouth goes dry, his skin burns. His mind reels in confusion, and he can barely stand. These aren't just poetic descriptions. They are a clinical diagnosis of an acute anxiety attack. It's the same physical and mental breakdown that millions of us experience today when faced with overwhelming pressure, whether it's a job interview, a difficult conversation, or just the weight of our responsibilities. We recognize this state of being completely overwhelmed by fear and doubt. But here's where it gets truly interesting. Krishna doesn't just pat him on the back and say, "Don't worry, everything will be fine." That's what our friends tell us, and it rarely helps. Instead, Krishna provides a complete and radical reframing of the very concepts of action, duty, and the future. He offers a fundamental shift in perspective that dismantles the entire mechanism of anxiety from the ground up, rather than just treating the symptoms. He gives Arjuna a new operating system for his mind. This is where we encounter the profound concept of Nishkama karma. This is the core principle, acting without attachment to the results of your actions. Anxiety is almost always rooted in the future, in our desperate desire for a specific outcome and our deep-seated fear of a different one. This constant attachment creates a vicious cycle. You worry about the outcome, which makes your actions less effective, which gives you more to worry about. Nishkama karma breaks this loop. It severs the toxic link between your action and your expectation. It teaches you to find purpose and fulfillment in the act itself, not in what the act might bring you. But how do you actually practice this? It sounds simple, but it feels impossible. We are hardwired to care about results. However, there's one specific verse in the Gita that holds the master key, the single most powerful instruction for implementing this life-changing philosophy in the real world. It's the one line that, if truly understood, can unlock a state of calm and effective action. The verse is chapter 2, verse 47. Karmani varikarist ma fashu kadashana. It translates to, you have a right to your actions, but never to the fruits of your actions. Let this sink in. It's a declaration of freedom. Your domain is your effort, your work, your preparation, your action. The result, the outcome, the fruit, that is not, and has never been, within your control. It is subject to a million other variables beyond your influence. By trying to control the uncontrollable, we generate anxiety. This single reframe completely eliminates performance anxiety because you're no longer judging yourself based on the outcome, but on the integrity and dedication of your effort. Your only duty is to do your best. That's it. The rest is not your business. This isn't some outdated mystical idea. It's so effective that modern psychology has unknowingly caught up to it. Therapies like acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, are built on similar principles. They teach cognitive diffusion and outcome detachment, learning to separate yourself from your thoughts about the future and focusing on value-driven actions in the present moment. The Bhagavad Gita systematized and perfected this very technique thousands of years ago, presenting it not as a clinical intervention, but as a path to spiritual and mental liberation. So let's make this practical. What is it that causes your anxiety? Is it your career, your relationships, your health? Share it in the comments below. Let's see how the timeless wisdom of the Gita can be applied directly to the challenges you are facing right now. We can explore this together. Now, let's move from theory to practice. Here is a step-by-step daily practice based on these principles to begin rewiring your brain. First, every morning, before you start your day, identify your most important task. Just one. Second, take a moment to consciously acknowledge, I have the right to perform this action to the best of my ability. I do not have a right to the outcome. Say it out loud if you need to. This sets your intention. Third, as you perform the task, whenever your mind wanders to, what if it goes wrong? Or, I hope this works out, gently guide your focus back to the process itself. Focus on the physical sensations, the rhythm of the work, the single next step. Finally, at the end of the day, reflect not on what you achieved, but on the effort you put in. Did you act with integrity? Did you give it your best? That is your new metric for success. This practice, over time, builds a new neural pathway, weakening the old anxiety circuits and strengthening a new mindset of calm, focused action. To explore the practical wisdom of this incredible text chapter by chapter, make sure you subscribe to Sanatan Puranas.